Not only was this the first time I've ever played in a PPA event, but it's also the first time that I've tried playing in 3-5 division. And let me tell you, it exposed 3 huge weaknesses in my game that I honestly wasn't prepared for. Let me walk you through exactly what I learned, what went wrong, and what I'm changing for my next tournament. Reality check number 1. Pressure changes everything. You can look great in practice, you can hit all the shots, you can move well, dink well, reset well, do all the things, but the second there's a scoreboard, a referee, or a crowd watching, your game drops a full level if you're not training for it. Now, I went into this tournament not really being nervous, but that's never really the case because even if you don't feel nervous, it's always in your subconscious that this is a tournament and I have to play well, and I have to do this, I have to do that. So you get to the point where you feel rushed and you're doing the most when you really don't even have to. There were balls that I normally never pop up that suddenly turn into floaters. Dinks I can hit all day at home suddenly felt tight. Resets that are usually automatic kept sailing a little high. And it wasn't because I forgot to play. It's more so that your body literally has a mind of its own whenever it's subconsciously nervous. And here's the thing that nobody tells you. In tournaments, you're not competing against your opponents first. You're actually competing against your own nerves. Like I said, you're feeling rushed, you feel like you have to win the rally faster, you feel like you need to do more than you actually do, and that pressure just eats away at your fundamentals. I realized pretty quick that I'm a completely different player when the point matters. So I'm changing how I train. I'm adding pressure to drills where every rally has a consequence. I'm doing more kitchen speed up reps so my hands don't freeze in real matches. And honestly, I'm just playing more games where something is actually on the line because you can't expect to feel calm in tournaments if you never put yourself in that environment. And that was the first big wake-up call. If you think you're a 4-0 in rec, but you play like a 3-0 in tournaments, it's not your skill, it's the pressure. The only way to fix that is to train under it. Reality check number 2. Tournament pace is completely different than what you get in rec play. And this one honestly surprised me more than anything else. When you're used to playing the same group of people, the game develops a certain rhythm, the speed feels predictable, everyone kind of knows each other's tendencies, and you settle into this comfortable pace. And then you show up to a PPA event, people come out firing. Third shots are coming faster, drives are cleaner, counters feel like they're happening way earlier than you expect, and then you get into a hands battle and it just feels like you're half a beat behind. I had multiple points where I thought, oh, I have time, and I absolutely did not. I've seen countless videos talking about how you should go ahead and split step whenever your opponents are about to make contact with the ball. And I was literally training this for weeks leading up to the event. And yet I still look at these clips and I see myself completely still moving full force toward the kitchen when the ball is like a foot away from my body. I'm like, what am I doing? And the crazy thing is, these aren't even pros. This is just the pace at 3-5. It's so much faster and sharper than what you get in your normal nightly rec games. So here's what I'm changing. First, I'm keeping my paddle up at all times. I've noticed several times where my paddle was down at the kitchen, and that's just going to make you late to balls every single time. Second, I'm shortening my hand movement because if your swing is big at this level, you just get exposed. Third, I'm practicing return timing because if your return doesn't land deep, you're instantly under attack. Tournament pace exposes you, and the sooner you train for the speed of real competition, the sooner your game actually levels up. Reality check number 3. Patterns matter more than mechanics. And this one honestly hurt a little because I spent a lot of time working on technique, but when I went back and looked and watched the footage, I realized I wasn't losing because of my form. I was losing because my decisions were bad. At 3-5, rallies don't fall apart because someone suddenly forgets how to hit a ball. Rallies fall apart because someone picks the wrong ball at the wrong time with the wrong intention, and that someone was me. A lot. I was way too predictable with my thirds. I went cross court on dinks way too often and let people camp there, and I forced balls that I should have just reset into the middle. I wasn't thinking in patterns, I was just reacting, and reacting almost always loses against people who understand how to build points. So I'm tightening up my patterns. If the return is deep, I'm driving the third and dropping the fifth. If the dink rally starts going long, I'm mixing the pattern every 2 or 3 balls so I'm not giving my opponents free information. And early in points, I'm resetting into the middle way more because that takes away angles and pulls both players into neutral. That's the stuff that wins rallies, not pretty technique or flashy shots, just smart patterns at the right time. But to be honest, the final scores of this tournament were really bad. And just to be clear, the carbon true foam waves held up great. Paddle definitely wasn't the problem. Huge shout out to my partner for helping me out. And also, I didn't get any footage of this, but I did speak to Chris Olson from the Pickleball Studio podcast. He famously did not like the Waves paddle. So I was letting him know that he probably got a paddle that was just a dud and he needed to give it a second look. So my partner gave him his paddle. He tried it out. He said it was nothing like the one that he had. He did say that they're going to have to revisit it. So be on the lookout for that because this paddle is honestly amazing. And I wish I could blame my poor play on the paddle, but I just simply can't. And if you want to save 10% on the very same paddle that I use code PKLD at checkout on Carbon Pickleball's website. That'll save you 10% plus whatever Black Friday deals they may decide to run. The link is in the description. You can check it out there. That is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next Friday.